Okay, Roger fans, please listen to this video because it's important, and try not to get too upset at me and let me explain, because I think after this video is over, you're going to understand what I mean by this. I'm going to give you some good points. It's going to help your forehand. But in this video, we're going to talk about 3 reasons not to copy Roger Federer's forehand. Now, even though you might not be excited about this, let's get started anyway. Now look, I get it. Everybody wants to be like Roger. Everybody wants to hit that forehand like Roger, and it's a beautiful forehand. There's lots of things we should copy, but today I'm going to go through 3 things that I see people trying to do when they're copying Roger Federer's forehand that's actually killing their performance on the court. They're actually playing worse tennis. They're not playing like Roger. It's actually hurting their game. They're losing matches. They're making tons of unforced errors, and so we need to go through this so that you can understand that copying Roger step by step is not always the best thing for your tennis game. Now, before we get into that, let me go through some things I absolutely love about Roger Federer's forehand that you should copy. Okay, so the first thing you should copy about Roger Federer's forehand that's helped so many tennis players is he's been given credit for the ATP Forehand. Lots of times we think of Roger Federer when we think about the blueprint of the ATP Forehand, and what people are talking about is that he brings the racket out here to his hitting side. He brings the racket set here, shortening the swing cycle a lot more, making it a lot easier to find the tennis ball. Just getting rid of a lot of the clutter, a lot of the time it takes to actually go and hit a ball, where the WTA forehand, I don't know if you want to call it that, but that's what people are calling it, is they say, hey, that racket's coming behind the hip here and getting way back here, and this is making you late and creating lots of unforced errors, and actually, you know, not creating the racket at speed that Roger's creating by just simply going here nice and short. So I like the idea of an abbreviated take back. It just makes the game a lot easier, a lot more sense, and it will make you a more consistent tennis player. So I'm all about that. I love that. I think that's something you should definitely copy on Roger Federer's forehand. Okay, another element that I absolutely love on Roger's forehand is what he is doing in his unit turn, how he holds onto the racket, and then more importantly, how after he lets go of the racket, he doesn't forget about his offhand. And so many tennis players do. Now, when you watch Roger do this, what's he doing? Well, he's keeping his body loaded up, and he's also measuring out his distance to the ball, and then he's coming through and he's hitting, and his whole body's on this axis here, and he's getting a lot of rotation in his body hitting the ball. This is another great thing, another great fundamental to follow that Roger does that you definitely want to copy on your forehand, that's going to help you be more consistent and get more power. So I love those couple of things. And then the final thing I love about Roger's forehand is just his whole relaxed look. Lots of us tend to muscle up on our forehand, and we can see when Roger's hitting, it looks like he's loosey-goosey and there's no tension there. He's just letting his body work the shot. These are all things that anybody can pick up, great fundamentals that anybody can pick up, and it's going to help your forehand. Okay, so we did give Roger a lot of love in this video, and we do love Roger Federer. If you love Roger Federer, give this video a like. But now we're getting to the things that Roger does that let's just keep letting Roger do that, and you should not be copying these things. Now, when we look at Roger's forehand, and the reason why everybody loves Roger's forehand, why it's so exciting to watch, is when you compare it to the big 3, Roger, Rafa, and Novak, Roger takes on the most risk. It's exciting. He can hit a winner from anywhere on the court, all right? But us playing recreational tennis, who are not arguably maybe the most talented tennis player ever, this is going to get you in a whole heap of trouble, because if you're out there and you're trying to hit all these Roger Federer forehands and blasting them very low over the net like I am right here, you're going to end up, now those I think all went in, but you're going to end up missing some of those. I think that's a little too low over the net, and lots of times Roger's even going lower over the net. And this is going to make you make mistakes in the net. It's going to have your ball flatten out too much. It's going to sail on you. I would prefer that you play with more margin. If you take a look at Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal, I think that that's just a better way to go for most of us when we get into a rally. We want to have a consistent rally. We don't want to be giving a lot of unforced errors away. So I would prefer that you would play with a little more margin on your forehand so you can put tons of balls in play, be consistent, break opponents down, make them go for shots that they shouldn't be going for, and be the solid rock tennis player at your club. Does that make sense? So by going low over the net all the time, yes, you can hit some amazing winners. I was actually surprised so many of my balls went in. I was expecting to miss more, but I'm telling you, if I went out and I tried to play like that all day, I would make a lot of unforced errors. Remember, I'm just standing here, just hitting the ball. But when there's a lot more variables involved and you're trying to go that low over the net, you're gonna make more mistakes. And let's just leave that to Roger. Okay, let's get into the second thing you should not be copying about Roger Federer's forehand. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, I would love it if you would do a couple of things for me, and it's gonna be great for you. See, I'm coming up on 50,000 subscribers, and when I get to 50,000 subscribers, I want to do something really special. So what I'd love it if you could subscribe to this channel, that'd be great. And if you could leave a comment below, maybe comment on who is your favorite player and why. So if it's Roger, tell me that Roger's your favorite player and why. Or if it's another player, tell me why that's your favorite player. So comment, and then what you want to do is you want to sign up for my 7-day forehand challenge. Go up here in the card section or in the description. Now when you do that, that's gonna put you on my list, so when I get to 50,000 subscribers, I can then notify the winner that they've won a $200 gift certificate to Tennis Express. So if that sounds good to you, again, you gotta subscribe, comment, and sign up for the 7-day forehand challenge, which is free, so you really can't lose on this, and we'll see you on the next tip. Okay guys, let's get into the second thing that you do not want to be copying about Roger Federer's forehand, or at least obsessing about. I shouldn't say you shouldn't copy this, but I find that so many tennis players are obsessed with this, and it is messing up their forehand. And that is the whole idea of the lag and snap. And so what is that? You're coming here, and then your wrist really just has this obvious like lag move, and then snaps into the tennis ball. And I think that so many tennis players are so obsessed with this that they can barely concentrate on their goal of hitting the forehand. And also, if you do it, if you don't have it down, if you don't have like this little waggle timing down, it could just make you a little too like wobbly when you're hitting your shot, and create a lot of unforced errors again. So lots of trying to copy Roger, step by step perfectly, and just obsessing about it is going to mess up your forehand. So, I mean, I just like the idea of coming here in this position, and then when you see the ball, just think about relaxing and hitting the shot. You're going to get some type of lag in there by doing that. But by just focusing so much and just really always going, am I lagging here? Do I look just like Roger? I got this extreme lag going on. I think if you're really just obsessed with that, it's gonna take your mind off the main goal, which is to see ball, hit ball. That should always be number one. See ball, hit ball, make good contact, good things will happen. If you're so obsessed with making sure that you're lagging here before you're hitting, like you see Roger do, lots of times that's going to throw your timing off. It's going to throw your stroke off. You want it to happen more naturally, and it doesn't need to be as extreme as like a Roger lag or a Rafa lag to be a great forehand. Just as long as you're here, and then just think about relaxing and hitting the ball, lots of times you're going to get enough of a lag to where you're going to get enough power that's going to take care of any club player that you're going against, and your fundamentals are going to be pretty good. So stop being so obsessed with this lag and snap on your forehand. Okay, the last thing is Roger Federer has a lot of racket at speed on his forehand. And I don't necessarily think that that's something that you should try and copy right off the bat. As you see the ball, Roger gets ready and like, bam, that racket's going right through the ball. It's impressive, it's awesome to watch. But again, most recreational players, when they try and do that, they're not going to stay through the hitting zone long enough to be consistent. They're going to be, by going so fast, you're going to be in and out of that hitting zone. You're going to hit a lot of missed hits. You're going to hit a lot of balls in the net. You're going to hit a lot of short balls. Okay, so I think in general, before you speed up, you should slow down. Really get your hitting zone down, as far as how long you want to stay with the ball, really feel connected with the ball, be smoother. Think about being smoother than faster. Connect to the ball, get consistent, and as you feel that connection, you can kind of go up gear by gear. You can gear up your forehand and go slightly faster and slightly faster, and then you can kind of find your ideal swing speed from there. Does that make sense? But if you're trying to hit every ball with that Roger Federer racket at speed, it's going to be really tough to be consistent. So hopefully you enjoyed, even though I know it's tough to listen to, the top 3 things not to copy about Roger Federer's forehand. And if you did, make sure that you sign up right here, because if you want to get your forehand better, there's nothing better to do than to sign up for my 7-day free forehand challenge in the card section and in the description. We'll see you guys on the next video. It's time to develop a forehand with massive power and spin without having to give up accuracy and consistency, and without having to spend hours and hours on the court every day for the rest of your life. My name is Peter Freeman, and I'm the founder of Crunch Time Coaching. You may have seen one of my Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge videos on YouTube where I work with the great Rick Macy, who's worked with the Williams sisters, Andy Roddick. I'm on a mission to learn the truth on what truly makes a great forehand, so I could bring the coaching gold back to you. And that's introducing the 7-day Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge. When you enroll in my challenge today, you're going to get lifetime access to $1,068 worth of training. The challenge includes 7 days of step-by-step video coaching, the perfect practice plan drill sheet, live coaching and support from yours truly. Enter your information below and enroll now. It's an insane $1,068 worth of value. If this is finally where your forehand transformation begins, wouldn't it be worth it?